and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. Today, Walter Hubley from the Wollaston Hill Neighborhood Association stops by. We'll talk about this year's Safford Park tree lighting ceremony. It's coming up later this week. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, we've got brilliant sunshine. It's 42 degrees right now. It'll be a sunny, brisk day today. It won't get much warmer than it is right now in the low 40s. Chilly night coming up tonight with increasing clouds. A low tonight around 28 degrees. Kind of a messy mix tomorrow. Starting out as some rain tomorrow morning, lasting really throughout the day before it changes over to some slushy snow tomorrow night. Maybe an inch of slushy accumulation here in the greater Boston South Shore area. High tomorrow 42, a low around 30 degrees. Sunshine returns here on Wednesday with highs in the upper 30s, and then we really start to turn cold on Thursday with daytime highs only in the 30s. Look at Thursday night. We're down into the teens. Winter is here for the first week in December for sure. Again, sunshine and 42 in Quincy right now. Checking out the news for you today, the new Quincy Public Safety Complex that will be home to the Quincy Police Department, the Fire Department Administration, and Emergency Management won't be ready for occupancy until after the first of the year. Officials say they will gradually begin moving operations and personnel into the new facility the first week in January and will likely have a public grand opening ceremony sometime in the spring. The new $175 million facility is being built right behind the existing police station on C Street, which will be torn down once the move-in is completed. Now, the new complex includes a state-of-the-art gun range, a communications center, a fitness center, and a community meeting space. The top floor of the new building will remain unfinished for future expansion. Quincy Police Chief Mark Kennedy says the move-in will likely take place on a Sunday. Communications will temporarily relocate to the Milton Police Department during the switchover for about 7 hours. The plans call for a park dedicated to first responders at the site of the current station. Mayor Thomas Koch says the new facility is not being delayed by the legal battle over proposed statues of Saints Michael and Florian for the entrance to the new complex. A January 5th hearing will be held in Norfolk Superior Court regarding the Quincy mayor's annual salary. Last week, a judge scheduled the hearing after both sides presented their case. Quincy Citizens for Fair Raises alleges that the Quincy Board of Registrars improperly rejected the names of over 1,800 voters who signed a petition for a ballot question about the salary. The city contends they follow proper procedure and that the ballot question is illegal. Now, the group collected over 7,000 signatures and said that the city should have verified the signatures using the printed names on the petition. A judge will first rule on whether the group collected enough valid signatures, then issue a ruling on the legality of the ballot question itself. The question would ask voters if they want to roll back the mayoral salary from $285,000 to $183,000. Mayor Thomas Koch has since said he will ask the new city council in January to reset the mayoral salary to $225,000, effective in 2028. Well, the MBTA says it'll be another 2 years before they can completely replace their fleet of Red Line subway trains. So far, the T has received 58 new Red Line cars, with 2 more on track for delivery in December. It still leaves 192 cars that need to be replaced to bring the total to 252 new cars. The project has been delayed due to new federal policies that require the new train shells coming from China to have documentation that proves they adhere to U.S. forced labor regulations. The shells are taken to a facility in Springfield where they're completed and then shipped to Boston. The T says they're placing a renewed effort on completing the Red Line project as the Orange Line order nears its completion. The project began back in 2014. Well, the state legislature is now in informal session through the end of the year. That means that a single lawmaker can place a bill on hold with just one objection. State Representative Jackie Chan of Quincy says the House is watching the Senate action this week.
And of course, December 3rd is when the Senate side reports all the bills, all of our respective supermajority bills out of committee. So the House is now watching the Senate see what they do, because the House reporting system is much more truncated on 60 days and 90 days or 90 days after the hearing itself, where the Senate actually has it December 3rd. So, even though that formal sessions have closed, there's a lot of monitoring going back and forth on those House and Senate committees. In addition, I got to start setting up the January, February, March schedule for the committee in December, and get through the next set of bills we should be pulling out early January. And this committee does get late filed bills. Late filed bills are bills filed after the deadline. It requires the House and Senate Rules Committee to approve, and we should be getting the next set of those during the holiday period. And then, working with the co-chair, we'll try to figure out the early part of the hearing schedule, probably January, most likely sometime in January.
Lawmakers are also watching the proposed record number of 44 ballot questions proposed for next year's state ballot. House Speaker Rahm Mariano of Quincy and Senate President Karen Spilka did express some skepticism about a ballot question that would bring back rent control. Ballot question supporters have until Wednesday to submit the names of over 74,000 registered voters to the Secretary of State's office. Well, Quincy's free seasonal skating rink opens to the public at 3 o'clock this afternoon. The temporary rink will open near Kilroy Square in Quincy Center, same location as last year, right across from the Quincy District Courthouse. The rink will be open daily from noon to 8 p.m. beginning tomorrow, except for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Eve. The rink is open to everyone. The staff asks that skate times be limited to 1 hour. Free skate rentals will also be available, but skaters can also bring their own skates. The rink will close for the season on February 22nd. City of Quincy certainly did ring in the holiday spirit over the past 3 days with tree lightings, family events, of course, the 72nd annual Quincy Christmas Parade yesterday. It all started back on Friday on the Hancock Adams Common in Quincy Center with holiday movies, refreshments, and the turning on of the lights. Saturday, Santa arrived at Pageant Field by helicopter to meet and greet hundreds of youngsters. And of course, yesterday, 72nd annual parade featuring marching bands, floats, specialty units, fun for all ages. This year's parade theme, Historic Quincy Celebrates Christmas, continued the Quincy 400 celebration with floats that first appeared during the Flag Day Parade, making another appearance with a Christmas flair yesterday. And once again this year, the Quincy North Quincy Marching Band won Best Overall Band and 4 other awards during the parade. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, the Wollaston Hill Neighborhood Association getting ready for their annual Safford Park tree lighting ceremony this week. We'll get the details next. Welcome back. Even though we've had all of the major city events for the holidays here in Quincy, it's not over by a long shot. A lot of the city neighborhood associations have their own tree lightings and holiday parties, including the Wollaston Hill Neighborhood Association with their annual Safford Park tree lighting. It's coming up this Friday evening at 6 p.m. So the president of the association, Walter Hubley, is here to tell us all about it. Happy holidays, Walter.
Yeah, happy holidays for you. I guess we're taking the season into extra innings with our event, right?
This is it.
There's a few others, though.
We're in OT.
Yes, exactly. But happy to do it.
Yeah. This really is another long-standing tradition, though, in the city at Safford Park, right?
Yeah, it was. This is our 23rd this year. It was not started by Wollaston Hill.
Right.
Kevin Coughlin, the former Ward 3 city councilor, started it years ago. And then shortly after that, he added in Clara Yeoman's tree to the park, which functions as our Christmas tree. So, it's something that's been going on for a long time. And when we started the association, we partnered with Kevin to continue that tradition, and then subsequently with Ian Kane as well.
Yeah. How long ago was that when the association kind of joined
15 years ago.
Has it been that long already?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And the tree itself it's a permanent tree. It's not, you don't just bring it in every year. It's
correct.
It's there.
Yeah, it's Clara's tree. Yeah. Clara Yeoman's longtime neighbor years ago,
Yep.
Environmental activist, scout leader, or Girl Scout leader rather, very involved in the community.
Yeah.
And Kevin had the tree planted there and dedicated in her name, and we try to keep up and maintain it and so forth. During the Community Preservation Act renovation at Safford Park, we brought in some electrical facilities right to the tree.
Yep.
So that helps us with the tree lighting and things like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So, and it's grown over the years, right? This particular event, more and more folks attend it because it's not
Yeah.
just, you don't just go there, turn the lights on, and go home. It's more to it now.
There's a little bit of a ceremony
Yeah,
that goes
yeah.
along with it, and we have a special guest. I have it on good authority. We have a guest from the North Pole coming down.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
All right. He's been very busy.
You know, we appreciate that he makes the extra effort just to come all the way down here to Safford Park and then has to go all the way back to do his preparations.
And
for
multi modes of transportation for Santa. I mean, he's been on a fire truck. He's been on a helicopter. He's been on a boat.
Yeah, planes, trains, and automobiles.
I'm telling you.
He makes his way here, and he never disappoints. So
Yeah.
it's great.
Well, that's fun. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Before we talk about the Friday event, let's talk a little bit about the association. So it's 15 years old?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. So yeah, my wife Catherine Hubley and I started the association 15 years ago, largely inspired by some of the other associations in the area, specifically the Montclair Wollaston Neighborhood Association, started by former Councilor Kevin Coughlin,
Yes.
as well as the HouseNet Community Council. And so we got together with a couple of neighbors. We just went door to door and passed out flyers and talked to people and had our first meeting, which was very well attended. And since then, we've been very much focused on community building, bringing neighbors together for different reasons throughout the year, whether it's volunteering or showing up for a fun concert at the park, things like that,
Yep.
as well as doing some advocacy for issues that are important to neighbors.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been going on a long time.
I know the Saturdays in the Park series is very popular, and it was
Yeah.
again this year, right?
Yeah, we sponsor Cleaner Greener Quincy, Safford Park, and Forbes Hill. And so we spearhead that, and then also, as you mentioned, Saturdays in the Park, we have a multi-week concert series every Saturday where we bring bands and food vendors and so forth into the
Yeah.
park. Gives neighbors a good opportunity to get together, and then we also have our tree lighting, and we've done a few other different types of events over the years, and I'm excited to see what we're going to be doing in the coming years, just with new ideas and new faces and new things.
Speaking of
Speaking of which,
new faces, yes.
yeah, well, sort of new faces.
Well, right. Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited to announce, and unfortunately he wasn't able to make it today due to a work conflict, but we're excited to announce that Bob LaRocca has taken on the presidency role of the Wollaston Hill Neighborhood Association in light of my new role here in the city coming up in January. Bob, as some of the viewers might have seen him come on the show with me, your show with me in the
Yes,
past.
sure,
And,
yeah.
him and his wife Leslie, when they first moved into the neighborhood, they found out about the association, reached out to us. We came over, sat in their living room, and they said they'd love to get involved and help out, and they've been involved and helping out ever since. So, he's learned the ropes kind of alongside myself and Catherine and Brian and Eileen and the rest of the crew, and I'm super excited about having a new person take lead on it, even though he's not new per se. He's been
Right.
with us for about 5 or 6 years.
Okay, all right.
But it's someone with previous continuity who knows how to do what we usually do, and then someone to bring in new ideas and new thoughts, and even just small tweaks or new events or new ways to get people together.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see what he can bring to the table, and I'm happy to be in a supportive role for that.
Do you feel a little bit like you're kind of giving up your baby, though, Walter?
Yeah, not gonna
Because
lie.
you've been the only president, right?
Well, my wife served a period of time as president as well, and then I went back into the role, so
Okay.
we've kind of traded off a little
Yeah.
bit. But we've had great support over the years,
Yeah.
just no one who would take on complete the lead of things.
Right.
Which is, I'm super excited about that.
Yeah.
It's been a great, rewarding effort over the past 15 years.
Big part of both of your lives, right?
Yeah. We do a lot in the neighborhood and in other ways and throughout the city. It's where Porch Fest was born.
That's
through
right.
that association, and that spun off and became its own sort of thing.
That's right.
So yeah, it's been great, but I'm also super excited about my new role and just as I said before, getting new ideas, new thoughts, new perspectives. I think one person, two people can only take it so far in terms of leadership. I'm excited to see what new perspectives and new ideas can come in and just make things even better or change them.
Okay, but you're staying on the board, right?
Yes,
You're
yeah,
on the
I'll
board.
still be serving on the board and helping out with some of the fiduciary responsibilities
Yeah.
of the nonprofit, just to maintain continuity and still play a role. But yeah, you're right. I mean, when you when you start something and then run it for many years, but I feel wonderful about getting to know Bob over the past several years that him and his wife and his family live in the city. I really feel really positive about what he's going to bring to that role and bring some new stuff.
Yeah, and Kathy will stay on the board
Yep,
as well.
Kat's we'll stay along, kind of run shotgun and help out where help is needed. And we're still ironing out some of the other roles in the association. With the holidays, people are super busy, so we're trying to find time to meet together to find out who wants to take on different functions of the association, managing the website, managing social media, doing correspondences, recording our meeting minutes, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So we're still kind of sorting through that, but I'm excited to announce that Bob's taken on the leadership role.
Well, that's great. We wish him the very best. And
Yeah.
of course, as the incoming Ward 3 councilor, you'll still have interaction, right, with the association.
Yeah. My intention would be, of course, to attend every event that
Certainly.
I can possibly attend
Yeah.
that the association throws on, and support them in any ways, and focus on, helping them develop in different ways, and just being a supportive resource. So it's, for me, getting involved in community associations like Wollaston Hill and like the Montclair Wollaston Neighborhood Association, as well as Hospital Hill Neighborhood Association. That to me is really where a ward councilor can you really just kind of get closer to the topics that matter to people. As I've said, I won't want to bring politics into it, but on the campaign trail this past year, I did say that it's important to be able to have opportunities to hear from people who aren't the type, or it's not their way to communicate by getting up to a mic in front of large groups of people. I call them sort of the silent majority, and that's not how most people communicate and not how most people are comfortable. So I find that just working side by side with neighbors, with different association groups, you really get to hear what people think and what's important to them.
Meet them where they are, right?
Exactly.
In their
Exactly.
neighborhood, where their comfort zone.
Yeah, so I think it's important to hear from everybody.
Yeah, very good. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of communication, cross communication. Who knows? As an elected official, you might be able to bring a new benefit to the association, or start a new group, perhaps. You just never know.
Yeah, I did say during the past year that I'm excited to see if there are other people out there in different pockets of neighborhoods that are interested in starting something of their own, whether it's a small effort or a larger scale effort.
Yeah.
And it's having gone through the process and having run one for so many years, two actually, both Wollaston Hill and Porchfest. I kind of know the mechanics of getting things set up. So
Yes.
I'll tell you, it would have been very helpful to have someone who can guide through the
When you
process
first started,
when we
right?
first started.
Yeah.
Now, I won't say I was without support. There was one person in particular, Brian LaRoche from the HouseNet Community Council.
Yeah.
I met him, I want to say maybe 16 years ago, like a year or two before we started the association, and he dropped what he was doing and gave me all the time I needed to ask my questions and take me through the process of at least getting things set up. And so.
Nice. I know they came to your rescue one Saturday in the park when it rained, right? And they brought the tents.
The fleet of Easy Up tents.
That's right.
Yes, that
They
was
saved the day.
Yeah, and then we swiftly started making investments in Easy Up
That's
tents,
right.
which also help out for Porchfest.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you get those, there are bands who graciously donate their time and talents, but they also have audio equipment, as you know well from the Christmas parade.
Yes, we won't talk about that.
that don't take well to weather.
Yeah, water and electronics, not a good mix.
Yeah,
no.
not a good thing. So,
I think our operations manager is having a fit right now, trying to
stress.
test all our equipment. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to find out if it got broken during another event.
Correct. Yeah. So Bob takes over first of the year.
Yep.
Okay, first of the year. And then you'll have other things on your agenda by then.
Yeah, I certainly will. There's going to be a steep learning curve, and as a lot of people know, a lot of new faces on the council, so a lot of us will have a good learning curve.
Yeah.
So it's going to be good to be able to focus on that while also supporting Bob and the rest of the team.
Yeah,
on what they're
absolutely. So let's talk more about Friday's events.
Sure.
It's again 23rd annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony at Safford Park on Beale Street, 6 p.m. What's going to happen?
Yeah, so people show up, gather around. We'll have a table out with hot chocolate and refreshments. And so, it'll be about 15 minutes worth of socializing and doing a sing-along. We'll have a podium set up. We'll have all the electronics ready to activate the tree and the lighting. And then we're expecting a visitor from the North Pole, and he's going to be getting some help getting here. So he made his way down to Quincy, but then from Quincy he's going to make his way over to the park on a fire truck.
Of course.
So we definitely want to thank the fire department
Yes.
for their support in that, as well as the Parks Department, who does a great job every year getting things set up for us. They put a PA system in place, a podium from which to speak, and that's kind of how it rolls. And then we'll be there for about 45 minutes to an hour,
Okay.
hour and a half, where we'll sing along with Santa and we'll say a few words, and then we'll count down and light the tree, and then it's just more like a social hour after that.
Right, yeah, mix and mingle kind of thing.
Yeah.
Who gets to flip the switch?
Usually it's Santa.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of his important roles.
One of his official duties, right?
I don't know what we'd do if he didn't make it true.
That's
We'd be left in the dark.
Now, is the whole park decorated, Walter, or is it just the tree?
So the tree, and then there's a couple of other adjacent trees that are also illuminated.
Okay.
And
who
that's
does-
something I was thinking about maybe down the road.
Yeah.
We did have the large granite retaining wall
Yep.
illuminated in the evenings, but the lighting system has failed in
Oh, that's
recent
too bad.
years. So I might see if I can look into getting that re-enabled, because it makes the park overall feel a little bit safer at night,
Yes, yes.
because when you illuminate that dark corner under all the tree cover, it just opens it up and makes you kind of feel a little safer walking through the park. So,
Sure.
And it's also quite pretty, the beautiful granite wall.
Yes, yeah, to be uplit would be very nice, yeah.
Yeah.
And it really kind of sets the stage, for neighborhoods to start putting up their decorations too, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and maybe acts a little bit of a catalyst. I'll tell
Exactly,
you, for
yeah.
me, though, it's sort of the ceremony that I know we have a lot of great ceremonies. My wife and I attended with our daughter the Christmas tree lighting downtown.
Oh,
that was
sure.
wonderful. They showed the movies and
Yeah.
hot chocolate and all that. But I'll tell you, in our neighborhood, this event really, for me, is like the kickoff for the holiday season.
Okay.
It really gets you into the neighborhood spirit when you see your neighbors come down and share in this experience.
Yeah. Now, so logistically, do we have to let folks know about anything in terms of parking? Or?
There's usually plenty of off-street,
Okay.
on-street parking.
Okay.
Yeah, Walston School also has some
Certainly,
parking out
yeah.
back, so yeah, it's never been too much of it. We've gotten, it varies, of course, by weather, how many people participate.
Yes.
But we do send the messages out through the local PTOs of all the elementary schools to let families know about the event,
Okay.
and we put something in the Quincy Sun, and then of course, through your program, we
Sure.
share about it. We get anywhere between, some years in the frigid cold, we've had 20 to 30, and
Brave
then,
souls, yeah.
yeah, and then other years where the weather's a little bit better and there aren't as many other competing things going on in the city.
Yeah.
We get up to 100 and 150
Really?
people showing. Yeah.
Oh.
We captured a good photo a few years ago where we had darn near like 120 people in the
Oh,
photos.
wow. I wish we
Yeah.
had that to show folks.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe
so-
next time.
I have to hunt that down.
Yeah, that would be nice to see for sure. And a lot of folks just walk probably, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah.
There's a few
Right. The forecast looks okay. It looks cold, but it looks dry right now.
I'm not even looking at it yet.
There may be some snow on the ground by then. Who knows?
I'm learning from all the years of running Saturdays in the Park and Porch Fest and so forth. You can torture yourself by looking at the weather a week ahead of time,
That's right.
but once you get a day or two ahead, that's when it really starts
Yeah,
to
well,
count.
the accuracy factor just increases as you get closer to the event. you know?
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Right now it's kind of 50-50.
Yeah, and I'll let that be that.
And it's all free, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the association takes care of all the costs for hot chocolate and cookies and so forth.
Yeah.
And we've had different donations from others in the past. This year, Wollaston Hills is funding it.
Do you need help? Do you need volunteers? Do you need cleanup? Do you need elves? What do you need? Anything?
We have a few people lined up.
Okay.
The cleanup is mainly just putting the table away
Okay.
and cleaning up after the hot chocolate. That's pretty much it. It's a light lift event
Okay.
Yeah.
Who provides all the refreshments?
at Wollaston Hill.
Oh.
We'll be doing it. In the past, we've also had different PTOs step up and do it. They're a little busy this year, so this year Wollaston Hill is going to be taking care of the hot chocolate and the cookies and stuff like that.
Nice, nice. And the city actually puts the lights up, or are they the ones that?
Yeah,
do
the city
actual lighting?
maintains the lighting. The city puts it up during the winter season,
Yeah.
takes it down when the season's over, and they assist us on the night of the event with the PA system and making sure that the Santa switch is fully functional and ready to move.
Can't have that malfunction at the
Yeah,
inappropriate time, right?
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's got to go off. And Santa will be there no matter what the weather. Is there a photo op as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
so Santa walks around and hands out candy canes or different treats
Yep.
and then poses for pictures. And oftentimes we'll try to do a group picture in front of the tree and
Yeah.
so forth. So it's fun.
Fun. And then after that, it's kind of wind down for the season. Is that right?
Yeah,
For
after
the
that we take a
association?
couple of months off,
Yeah.
and then we start getting ready for Porch Fest, we start booking bands for Saturdays in the park.
Right.
It really starts, frankly, in January.
Does it really?
With ordering shirts and ordering supplies and scheduling bands
Okay.
and performers and stuff like that. It's a year-long endeavor.
So Bob's going to jump in both feet first with the new
Yep.
responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go to the website, or you're on social media.
Yeah, wollastonhill.com,
Okay.
and then from there you can jump to all the different social media platforms we have presence on, and that's really a good way to stay in touch. You can also sign up to our email list.
Yes.
I want to say we have maybe 300 or 400 people on that list.
Yes, I am
from the
one of them.
neighborhood.
It's great. Yep.
Yeah. We try to send out things that are relevant to the area and just relevant to families.
Absolutely. And are there regular meetings that folks can attend of the association, Walter?
Yeah, so we do an annual meeting every November,
Okay.
and then I'll say we do meetings as deemed necessary
Gotcha.
for different topics or different issues in the area. But primarily we meet through the different social and volunteering opportunities that we make available throughout the year.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Kind of impromptu. Probably at the Safford Park tree lighting, there'll be discussion about.
Yeah,
the
when we
following
started the
year.
association, we were meeting monthly because we were kind of getting our
Yeah.
feet under us and getting prepared. And then over time we reduced that to quarterly, and now we have an annual meeting that's scheduled amongst the board and anyone else who'd like to attend. But other than that, we try to meet more ad hoc. We've just found that's been the most effective way
Sure.
to do it.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Anything else we should share with folks right now?
Nah, we'd love to see everyone. It's hopefully going to be a good night in terms of weather. Hopefully that cooperates, and everyone's excited to see our guest from the North Pole
Yes.
make his appearance.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for stopping by, and happy holidays.
Yeah, same to you. Thanks
you
for
very
having me.
much. Just enough time to check the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. It's not bad, actually. A mix of sun and clouds. Kind of breezy, but in the low 40s this afternoon. Upper 20s this evening as the clouds increase. They will bring rain to start tomorrow for most of the day, actually, as the temperatures will be in the low 40s. They'll change over to snow late tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night could leave a slushy inch or so by Wednesday morning, but then sunshine returns on Wednesday with highs in the upper 30s, and a real winter cold sets in here for Thursday night and Friday as well. But right now it looks dry for Safford Park. Thanks again to our crew. Thank you for watching. On Friday, we'll welcome members of the Quincy Point Congregational Church here to the program. They have a couple of big events that they'd like to let you know about. Meantime, you can check our website anytime, qatv.org. You'll find all of our latest programs, along with news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great week.